Out of all the hunters in the world of solo leveling, no one comes close to Jin-woo. His immense power and skills leave chaos in his path, and even the mightiest S-rank hunters tremble before him. But his journey didn't begin at the top. In this video, we're breaking down every transformation and form Jin-woo takes in his rise from the absolute weakest to the most dominant force in the story. At the beginning of the series, Jin-woo is ranked E, the lowest rank possible. Think of him as the character in a game with the worst stats imaginable. Yep, that was him. Still, despite his poor stats, he somehow survived as a hunter for 4 whole years. That was until one mission changed his life forever. On that day, Jin-woo and a group of hunters entered what they thought was a basic D-rank dungeon, but they soon discovered a hidden area within, a second dungeon. And this one was far more dangerous than expected. In the chaos, Jin-woo lost his leg trying to fight off the terrifying monsters inside. Already hurt, he chose to stay behind and stall the enemies so his teammates could escape. Just as he's about to be killed, a strange notification appears. He's completed a mysterious quest and is being offered the chance to become a player. Now, being a player means starting from scratch at level 1 and gaining power by completing tasks and defeating monsters. With no better option, Jin-woo accepts. Sometime later, he wakes up in a hospital, his body completely healed, but his stats are still rock bottom. For instance, his mana points are stuck at just 10. For comparison, even low-level E-rank hunters have around 70 MP. It just shows how far behind he still is. But things were about to change fast. From this moment on, Jin-woo's power would soar, unlocking multiple forms and reaching a final monstrous version of himself, the player. To start leveling up, he has to complete a daily quest. Basically, Saitama's workout routine. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. Since he's still recovering in the hospital, Jin-woo ignores the quest and sleeps. But the system doesn't let things slide. At midnight, he's dragged into a penalty zone for skipping his quest. Now, instead of working out, he has to survive 4 hours against massive centipedes. It's brutal. Way worse than the exercises. This experience teaches him a painful lesson, and he begins doing the daily training without fail from then on. In Chapter 12, Jin-woo is assigned his first solo dungeon raid. There, he defeats several large wolves and manages to level up to 2. After slaying more wolves, he gets to level 5, and his mana increases to 90. Because of his kill count, he's awarded his first title, Wolf Slayer. Now officially, an average E-rank hunter, borderline B-rank in potential. Chapter 17 marks another major step. He clears the dungeon by defeating a giant snake named Blue Phenom Fang Kasaka. As he leaves, he hears that a nearby group of hunters is failing to beat a boss, so he steps in to help. From a distance, he hurls his broken sword directly into the boss's skull, killing it instantly. His level skyrockets to 18, proving he's no longer a normal E or even D rank. Afterward, Jin-woo trains even harder at home and eventually gets invited to a C rank raid. But what he doesn't know is that the team plans to backstab him and steal all the loot. They lock him in the boss room and leave him to die. When they return, expecting to find his corpse, they find the boss already dead. Jin-woo killed it alone. He hits level 21 and takes revenge on the team that betrayed him. While he's clearly much stronger now, this is only the start of what's to come, and there are still 10 jaw-dropping forms left in his path. A-rank Hunter. After completing another secret quest, he earns a key to an S-rank dungeon and decides to go for it. Inside the demon castle, he's immediately greeted by Cerberus, Hell's gatekeeper. Jin-woo struggles at first, but thanks to a healing item, he pulls through and defeats the beast. He reaches level 25, but the fight proves he's still not ready to conquer this dungeon. He vows to return once he's stronger. By Chapter 34, he meets Jin-chul from the Hunter Association. It's instantly obvious how wide the power gap still is. Jin-chul is a top A rank, and Jin-woo is nowhere near that level. Motivated by this, he continues taking on more raids, and by Chapter 36, he finally hits level 40. Reaching this point unlocks a special job quest. Curious, Jin-woo accepts and enters a new dungeon. There, he defeats undead knights and magicians, collecting powerful loot. However, after defeating the boss, the quest isn't marked as complete. Suddenly, waves of undead soldiers keep spawning, and it becomes an endless fight. Jin-woo is overwhelmed. Luckily, the system sends him back to the penalty dungeon. He had forgotten to do his daily workout. This time, it's easy for him. He kills the centipedes in no time and gets 4 hours to recover. However, everything shifts when the entrance to the dungeon reveals itself as a red gate. Red gates lock themselves shut once a group enters, so the only way out is to push through the brutal conditions and beat the dungeon boss first. Everyone else panics, fearing the savage ice bears will kill them, but Jin-woo chooses to attack instead. He unleashes his shadow soldiers to gauge their power, and is shocked by their incredible strength. Igris, in fact, turns out to be even stronger than Jin-woo himself. This battle brings him to level 52 and allows him to gather new shadow soldiers from the fallen ice bears, growing his army. Later on, Jin-woo challenges the dungeon's boss, but realizes it's a tough fight even with his shadow soldiers. To give himself an edge, he kills an A-rank hunter. Nearby, the same guy who once tried to murder him, and makes him into a shadow soldier named Iron. Thanks to Iron's strength, Jin-woo is eventually able to take down the dungeon boss. When he exits the gate, he runs into Baek Yun-ho, an S-rank hunter, who demands answers from him. But Jin-woo scares him off, and Baek steps back, realizing that Jin-woo's power is dangerously close to his own. This is the first real hint that Jin-woo is nearing S-rank status, even though he's officially still E-rank. You might assume this is the peak of Jin-woo's growth, but that's absolutely false. He still has 8 transformations left and is just getting started. S rank, after the Red Gate arc, Jin-woo resumes his dungeon runs and hits level 61 by chapter 56 with over 1,600 mana. And remember that S-rank dungeon where Jin-woo barely survived the castle's gatekeeper? Now that he's stronger, he returns to finish the dungeon for good. He breezes through the first 50 floors and even defeats Vulcan, the greedy ruler of the lower levels. While there, he finds the formula for the holy water of life. It's unclear how much stronger he's become since entering, but it's obvious he's way beyond his Red Gate self. Even Jin-woo himself realizes his strength is now comparable to that of an S-rank hunter. He decides not to go deeper for now, and considers taking a formal reevaluation to determine his true rank. Unfortunately, the mana detector malfunctions from his overwhelming power when he touches it, so his reevaluation gets delayed by 3 days, while they bring in a more powerful mana gauge. But rumors spread fast, and it's clear to everyone. Sung Jin-woo is on track to be Korea's 10th S-rank hunter. Before the title is official, he jumps into an A-rank gate to see what these dungeons are really like, and how others handle them. But things instantly spiral out of control. Turns out the dungeon was misclassified. It's practically an S rank, and the hunters there are wiped out by just the first wave of orcs. The survivors are dragged to the orcs' throne room, where they meet the leader and see the full scale of his army. Meanwhile, A-rank Woo Jin-chul and S-rank Cha Hai-in enter the dungeon to help out after realizing it's more dangerous than reported. But they arrive just in time to watch Jin-woo summon over 100 shadows and obliterate the dungeon all by himself. Also, this is the moment Cha starts developing feelings for Jin-woo. After the battle, Jin-woo turns a bunch of orcs into shadows, including the boss, who becomes an elite shadow named Tusk. His current army consists of 123 regular shadows and 4 elite ones. Top tier S rank. Jin-woo is now stronger than any other S rank in Korea, possibly even globally. It's made obvious when he spars with Japan's strongest S rank, Goto Ryuji. Jin-woo only dodges and blocks, but right before his first punch, other hunters jump in to stop the match. Jin-woo gets praised for matching Goto, while Goto walks away, clearly rattled. He realizes that if Jin-woo had landed that punch, he would have died. At this point, nearly all of Korea's top hunters are in Japan, dealing with the mutant ants on Jeju Island. Strangely, Jin-woo doesn't want to join the raid, thinking 16 S-rank hunters should be enough, but to be safe, he secretly plants shadows among them so he can teleport in if things go wrong. And of course, everything quickly falls apart, with many hunters getting slaughtered, including Goto. Jin-woo immediately teleports in to rescue his fellow Korean hunters. Since the entire raid is being broadcast globally, the world is about to see just how powerful Jin-woo really is. He arrives and heals several S-rank allies with his powers, except for Cha, whose injuries need a professional healer. Then the Ant King appears, and Jin-woo battles him one-on-one in an intense duel. Jin-woo outmatches the Ant King in every way and kills him, leveling up to 99 and gaining nearly 10,000 mana. But Cha is still severely hurt, and Jin-woo has only one option left: revive a dead S-rank healer Min as a shadow. Min heals Cha successfully, but Jin-woo releases him right after because it feels wrong to keep him. With everyone safe, the others return home, while Jin-woo finishes off the last remaining ants. And in chapter 105, after wiping out the final ants, Jin-woo reaches level 100, National Level Hunter. Upon hitting level 100, Jin-woo gets another key, this time for the same double dungeon where it all began. Before heading in, he ties up some loose ends, saving his sister's school from an orc attack, and of course spending time with Cha. Korean law requires at least 10 people to enter a gate, which frustrates Jin-woo because he prefers solo raids. So Woo Jin-chul is assigned to oversee his first official solo raid to ensure he can handle it alone. Though we already know he can. The raid ends in no time, and Woo describes the scene as nothing short of a massacre. So naturally, Jin-woo is cleared to go on solo dungeon runs moving forward. With all that sorted out, Jin-woo returns to face the system head-on. At level 103, he re-enters the double dungeon once again. Inside, he meets the system's creator, who challenges him to fight the same giant statues from the start of the series. To make it fair, the architect strips Jin-woo of all player powers, no summons, no store, no recovery, nothing. Jin-woo now has to rely only on his natural abilities to survive. The smaller statues aren't a problem, but the architect proves more powerful than even Jin-woo. Still, against all odds, Jin-woo overcomes him, earning the right to see the past of the former Shadow Monarch. While his body rests, his mind watches everything the previous monarch experienced. Ashbourne, the prior monarch, chooses not to take over Jin-woo's body, but instead passes all his powers to him. Jin-woo wakes up, pins the architect, and receives Ashbourne's heart, turning into the most powerful human alive. His mana skyrockets from under 10,000 to over 100,000 points. The coolest part? Jin-woo denies the architect access to the system before ending him for good. At this stage, Jin-woo has practically finished the game, but he's still not at his full potential. The administrator of the system, after defeating the architect, Jin-woo inherits the system and passes out for 3 days. While unconscious, a new S-rank gate opens in Japan. Jin-woo rushes over, slays the giant, destroying Japan's streets, and enters the gate. There, he meets Ligia, the monarch of the beginning and king of giants. Ligia warns that more monarchs and rulers will come after Jin-woo, proposing an alliance. But Jin-woo instead offers to make Ligia a shadow soldier, which is insane. Turns out monarchs can't become shadows. So Jin-woo just kills him and gains a mountain of XP, hitting level 122, Monarch level. Jin-woo decides to take a breather and attends the International Guild Conference in America as Korea's representative. Though he's the strongest there, some egotistical hunters still think they're better. One of them is Thomas Andre, currently ranked #1 in the world, who clashes with Jin-woo. Angered, Jin-woo destroys Thomas in a fight, breaking his bones and forcing him to surrender. Once news spreads, Jin-woo is officially acknowledged as the world's most powerful hunter. Other elite hunters begin to admire him, and Thomas even gifts him Kamish's Wrath, daggers far stronger than his current ones. Before showing off Jin-woo's ultimate transformation, we need to look at his change into the true Shadow Monarch. A massive gate opens in Korea, unleashing 3 monarchs, the Beast, Frost, and Plague monarchs. With one goal, kill Jin-woo. Jin-woo is away on a date with Cha when chaos begins. So other hunters try to delay the monarchs, but fail. When hope seems lost, Jin-woo rushes in to save everyone. Instead of fleeing, civilians decide the safest place is right next to Jin-woo. Jin-woo and his shadow army battle all 3 monarchs at once, successfully killing the Plague Monarch. But as he's about to finish off another, the Beast Monarch stabs him in the heart. This triggers his black heart, beginning his transformation into the real Shadow Monarch. But the change takes time, so Jin-woo's father, long thought dead, arrives to defend him. The ultimate monarch, Jin-woo returns, fully reborn as the Shadow Monarch, and the system deletes itself since its job is done. The Beast Monarch tries to flee, but Jin-woo instantly catches up and kills him in 4 strikes. He returns to defeat the Frost Monarch and shares an emotional reunion with his dad. Now that he's a true monarch, his existing shadows become drastically stronger. And if that weren't enough, the original Shadow Army also joins him. Only one final enemy remains: the Monarch of Destruction, the Dragon King. Their showdown is epic, with Jin-woo using the dragon's terrifying roar to paralyze the enemy's army. Mid-battle, he activates his armor creation ability, forming powerful armor that enhances his Shadow Monarch form. The fight rages on until the rulers intervene and help him defeat the Dragon King for good. Grateful, they offer him a reward, but Jin-woo only asks to go back in time. He wishes to personally destroy all monarchs before they cause harm to his loved ones. The rulers agree, and Jin-woo spends the next 27 years hunting down every last monarch. He ultimately triumphs, saving the world of magic, beasts, and dungeons, and finally gets to enjoy life as the strongest monarch of all time.